The following podcast is rated M for mature.
What is up, you guys? Welcome to another episode of the Rating Pending Podcast. I am your host, Victor the Red, here with me, Solix Bates and Mother
Hello there.
Mega.
Hi.
Carlos isn't happy, that's for one.
Yeah, we seem to be a little short-handed for tonight.
And which is fine, because most of us, we can do this. We can actually do this.
Yeah,
Once. Carlos, I'm pretty sure you want to keep things out of, you want to take out something out of your chest.
No, I'm good. I'm
No.
For that.
No. Come on, Carlos. Tell us
Here's some new
why.
Boston.
Before you say it, for the topics for today is the PS2 backwards compatibility happening on the PS4, Star Wars Battlefront on how it's doing, and Fallout 4, basically shadowing Rise of the Tomb Raider. Rise of the what?
What?
Don't start. Don't start your freaking
I'm
fanboy.
kidding.
Moving on.
I'm kidding. Moving on. Carlos, please. What's going on with your Pip-Boy edition, bro?
I don't know. You should ask Bethesda. They still haven't fucking sent it to me.
When did you actually? When the fuck did you actually bought it?
It was the last shipment that they were doing.
Probably around October 19th, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a full
October?
month. It's been a
Yep.
full month.
I thought it was a September thing. I'm pretty sure it was. I don't
No,
know.
it was October.
Oh, it was
I have the
October.
receipt. I can check.
Check it out. Poor Carlos. He can never get anything. Well, he's Carlos.
And you guys already saw the receipt. And Bethesda just contact me and saying, "Oh, we can't find it in our system." So, yeah. But I have a receipt. I sent them. They know that I had the receipt. They saw that I bought it. And they said that they're working on it.
Photoshop, Carlos. Photoshop is a thing. They're lying. Lying to the people. I'm kidding.
And by the way, Bethesda's customer support.
Oh yeah, that's great. Yeah.
It's a piece of shit!
It's
Why,
a beautiful
Carlos?
customer support.
Okay,
only to you,
PlayStation
Carlos.
customer service, you can talk to a person. Xbox customer service, you can talk to a person. Fucking EA.
Even though
You can talk with a fucking person. No, but that's to decide, oh, we're just gonna put a voicemail. That will never contact you. And send us emails. And when we feel like sending you an email, it's gonna be useless shit. That won't help you at all. But yeah, Fallout.
Fallout. Talking about Fallout. So I have the Pip-Boy edition.
Yeah.
You mean the cheap plastic edition?
Oh yeah, about that.
Plastic edition.
About that. That's
My-
I don't want my Pip-Boy anymore. I just want my fucking money back and get my fucking game.
I honestly, when I saw the Pip-Boy edition, I was somewhat disappointed. I was disappointed. I'm not gonna say somewhat. I was disappointed completely. I thought it was gonna be this thing you put on your actual hand. You know, the gimmick. There was as long, quoting Todd Howard, as long as stupid gimmick goes. But I thought it was gonna be something really cool. Cool to have. I thought it was gonna be something innovative, I guess, for stupid gimmicks, as Todd Howard said.
Yep.
But no, it's just cheap, stupid plastic.
And not all cell phones are gonna be working for that.
Oh, and
For any cell phone.
so apparently, so if you wanna put your phone into the Pip-Boy, oh, you gotta do some work. You gotta cut foam. You gotta cut some foam. So your cell phone actually fits into the Pip-Boy. No, I don't like.
That's a fucking iPhone.
Hey, people liked the Pip-Boy edition. I, for one, didn't like it. People are gonna hate me for that, but I'm gonna sell it. And Carlos has a contact. I'm gonna sell it. I'm keeping the game, but I'm just gonna sell the Pip-Boy. I would have stayed with the Pip-Boy if it were better quality, but of course, that didn't happen. So as the game goes, the game's pretty fun.
Curious on or New Boston. What?
Say what? Say what?
Shh, shh, shh.
Game
Didn't
is
happen.
already ruined
So,
for me.
Anyway, Fallout 4.
easy.
Fallout 4. It's a Bethesda game. Guess what? Now we're gonna finish it. I never finish any Bethesda game,
Guess what? It has bugs. Hey, it's Bethesda.
but it,
Yippee.
yeah, I get you.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
Graphics
no.
are the same.
Yeah,
Bethesda.
I like how people. I like how people. I think one person in particular, like that I know of, keeps calling Bethesda shit because oh my god, Fallout 4 because it has bugs. They fucking suck.
They haven't played a Bethesda game.
It's like, well, have you played a Bethesda game before? Every Bethesda game that I know has fucking bugs. Do you remember Oblivion? Do you remember Skyrim?
Yeah, I remember falling out of the world. That was fun.
Come on. Everybody knows that Bethesda always, when they release a game, even though they complete it, there will always going to be a bug or
And they use a fucking
thousands of
implementation
bugs,
that's
which is
years old.
fine. Though they found a game-breaking bug that is not very good. But hey, when are they going to address this? Here on out from 6 months, because that's how they work on their patch. Right now, I'm pretty sure they're
Sort of support.
one area it's working on DLC support, and the other area they might be working on the next Elder Scrolls. I'm just gonna call it.
Maybe.
No, I'm just gonna call it. They might say, "Oh no, we're not gonna have any Elder Scrolls for a long time." I called fucking Elder Scrolls 6 here
I think
2008,
somewhere
2017, late 2018, announced, basically announced for the next year. Basically, announced for them to release it that year, like they did with Fallout 4, most likely. Like, oh, Fallout 4, yeah, got announced this year. When does it come out? This year. I like that. I actually like that. I actually like, oh, there's this game we had in mind. It's called Fallout, and we basically announce it for this year. I like that. I would really love to see more practice. Every company, not every company, but some companies with some of their games, I would like to see that practice that you announce it this, let's say next year for example. Let's just say Naughty Dog has been working on Last of Us 2 for quite a while, since like 2 years from now. Like when they release Last of Us 1. Let's just say, oh, we have Last of Us 2 in development. They show all this gameplay. And then, oh, when does it come out? Oh, in December. I like to see that more, actually. That was actually pretty good practice.
Something I will say, however, something that I've noticed as a difference to the older Fallouts up to New Vegas, Bethesda has actually learned to. I'm gonna say this in the nicest way possible, and it's still gonna sound super shitty,
Yeah.
but they've learned to casualize their games a little. By this, I mean take the wonky aiming that you had, which simply seemed like you were aiming with a bow, but it's a gun, and fix it up for the game. Add in all this sort of customization because lately, games are being made like, hey, I know you don't have a life, so here, make your life here.
Right.
Apart from all the simple controls and simple ways to handle the game, I still, I've only seen very few people finish the game, and when I say finish, I mean finish the main story. And that's about it.
The game is too big to fucking finish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this one
They decided
thing,
to put in a very nice joke that if it wasn't killed enough in Skyrim,
oh yeah, the arrow to the knee, but this time for a Fallout spin.
it says, and I quote, "I used to be a field scribe. Deathclaw snapping my femur like a twig put him into that." It's like, God.
Yeah, they won't let go of that meme.
Ha!
Anyway,
That was
for Fallout 4, so far what I played, it's fun, pretty fun. Am I gonna finish it? Maybe, most likely. Sebastian, a friend of ours, so you guys know. He already finished the Fallout 4 game. He's still playing it. He's still building his basically his village, if you call it. Doing more stuff to it. I, for one, I like Fallout 4, but I'm I don't know. I like Skyrim better. I don't know if it's me. There's people who like Wastelands, Wasteland themes. I like the Skyrim theme better, and you know that that medieval kind of stuff. I'm more of an Elder Scrolls fan. Not fan. I can't say fan because have I finished it? No, can't say a fan. But I like that type of game better than Fallout 4. And the thing is that this is something that I saw on a review, they're right, and he's right. It's Angry Joe. Fucking, it's the same fucking old engine. They need to improve. They need to make a new fucking engine. They might say, "Oh, it's a new engine," or this and that.
No,
It,
it's the same engine.
thing is that Bethesda has never been graphics savvy. They've never been good in graphics. In which you don't need to have better graphics to make a fantastic game. Here, Fallout 4 is fucking a fantastic game.
Yeah.
But obviously, the kind of the graphics somewhere kills it a little bit.
Yeah, but
Because we're
people
being
understand.
basically seeing the same thing, horrible character face models over and over and over again, and that kind of kills the buzz with the game. Because instead of you caring more for the character, the horrible models, not the it may not be the models, it's just the graphics are so dumbed down.
But
That
there's a reason for that.
I know. When you put the
Like the
graphics,
game is huge. You need to
I
think.
know, No, don't get me wrong, Carlos. I know how that works. For you to have a big ass fucking world, you got to turn something down, and it's completely fine. But hey, you have PC, you have PS4 now, you have Xbox One. You kind of have to turn it up a notch. Because we're not on 360 anymore. We're not on that engine anymore. We're sort of, for at least for console people, you have that, that tech advantage more. You have that more. You have a more tech advantage. Obviously, for PC, the possibilities are endless. But again, it's good if they crank it up a notch, because it's people are already noticing and they're not happy. People are starting to notice that, because obviously Oblivion, everybody knows how the graphics of Oblivion was, but was the game fantastic? Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Fallout 3, were the models horrible? Yeah. Did people
Yeah.
care? Not really. But was the
And
game
they're still
fantastic?
using the same engine.
The
Fallout
game
4.
was the game fantastic? Yeah. Skyrim, was the model good enough? They were okay. Was the world fantastic? Was the game fantastic? Fuck yes. Now we have Fallout 4 on a new generation system. Where is the evolution on this game? Where is the evolution of Bethesda making these world? Like, come on, guys. At least for me, I would like to see a little more improvement. Because now I'm starting to think about it, and I'm like, this guy's right. These other guys are right. I like what you're doing. I love your game, but it's time to to improve, evolve, because we cannot keep seeing the same thing. Like, not the same thing as in gameplay wise. I'm talking about graphics wise. I don't care about graphics. You may have the best game of the world and may have the most crappiest graphics, but people know you for that, and that's a bad thing to have, etched in your company. I was like, oh, this is the company who makes fantastic games or horrible graphics. You don't want people to think about that. Like, it's fine, 2 or 3 games, and then on the fourth one, I want to surprise you with all this. In which I may point right now that I kind of dislike the dialogue system on this.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I was gonna say. That
It's a
we
BioWare
we shouldn't be
thingy.
saying that their graphics are horrible. Like they just took out so much stuff from the good parts of the games, of their games, like Fallout 3, Skyrim. That the dialogue was awesome. Like you were interacting with people. Fallout 4, they just decided to take that out and just put a generic choose what you're gonna
And
say.
and the thing is, Carlo, finishing the Fallout 4 topic, the thing is that I noticed that in Skyrim, it will have random events. You may be walking down and something would fucking happen. Some random ass fucking guy would start talking to me. Oh, help me. Something fucking happened. I don't see that in Fallout 4. What happened? I haven't encountered. Maybe some people did. I haven't seen anything like that. I haven't encountered nobody random. I may see raiders, death claws. I may see fucking enemies, but not, not a fucking NPC that are basically. When I'm roaming around, an NPC will just come out of nowhere, fucking interrupt me with something. I was like, "Oh, you want to buy something?" I was like, "No." I haven't seen anything like that
Yeah,
yet.
they
I have
look
to I
more
have
for-
to interrupt them. I have to talk to them for them to say, "Oh, I'm selling this shit."
Yeah.
But yeah, Fallout 4, great game
Yeah.
so far. I haven't finished it.
It's
I'm
probably
pretty.
gonna be nominated for Game of the Year.
It is nominated for Game of the Year.
It's probably
In
gonna
which
lose
we're
that nomination.
I'm just gonna call it right now. Two things. If Metal Gear, hey, this is a surprise for everybody. If Metal Gear Solid 5 wins, it's for pity. And
Yeah.
if Fallout 4 wins, it's because we already knew that was gonna happen. Because Bethesda, with their fucking open world games, they will always get. I would be really surprised if The Witcher 3 gets it. If he gets it, it's like, well, I'll be darned.
I say it's more deserving, to be honest.
Yeah, I will be more disturbed. Exactly. Well, I'll be fucking darned. Anything can happen, apparently.
Yeah, the game is perfect.
Good thing we're not voting. Good thing we're not fucking
Nope.
voting. Because if we voted, obviously, as naive as I'm gonna sound, I would vote for Metal Gear. Why? Because that's the problem. We fucking vote for the game that we fucking love, because it's Fallout 4. But these judges, actually see their points. So it's like, all right, this Metal Gear Solid 5 is an open world game, has this, and that, but you can't compare it with Fallout 4 when it has this, and that. So ergo, Fallout 4 has more stuff than Metal Gear Solid 5. But the story on Metal Gear Solid 5 is actually better than Fallout 4. But it doesn't take away the fun of the game. Example, just saying that. That's why I like judges from around all media, Kotaku, IGN, Games Radar, from wherever, judging each game and using, who's going to win and who's not. I like that better than voting, going to the website, voting for myself, and getting promo codes for Mountain Dew and Doritos. I'd rather have judges doing
Yeah.
that. And hopefully we're not going to see any Mountain Dew / more Dorito, Mountain Dewitos, present you double 360, kickflip, backflip, fuck your mom shot, trophy of the year, nominated to I don't know who the fuck. So anyway, Star Wars Battlefront.
We were okay. Can I start?
Yeah, sure.
Things that I can take into consideration. One, the opinion that we had based on the beta.
I play the game.
Yes, exactly. The opinion based on what we had from the beta is understandable, considering that EA doesn't know how to do betas. Let's be frank here. Oh,
Yeah.
we're gonna give you a beta. We're gonna give you 5 waves in a survival map, and we're gonna give you only one multiplayer map. Okay, I can see where this is going. Oh wait, that's right. The multiplayer map was completely unbalanced. It felt more like, hey, we finished the alpha for this one place. Let's pass it on to testing. Oh, it works? Okay, let's throw this out as the beta the month before the game comes out. Okay.
Horrible practice, actually.
Yeah. The problems that I'm seeing with the game isn't even gameplay wise, because, I recently saw some people playing it over at the mall, and my uncle has been telling me enough about it to get an idea, and the game seems and sounds great. Where's the problem? Oh, that's right. Your season pass is worth $50.
Content.
The season pass is worth $50, and it has more content than the actual game. I can see that. I can understand that you want to extend the life of your game. I can understand that, hey, you didn't want
But
to show everything.
with this fucking stupid ass fucking practice, like every time, and people still fucking buys it. It's why it will never change. It would stay the same way.
Right.
That's the problem.
Hmm.
I wanted to get Battlefront on a fucking on a price drop, but then I saw that problem. I was like, oh, $50 for a season pass, and you get more content, even more content. Basically, 70% of the content that it's not in the game. Like more maps,
Battlefront.
more fucking maps, every map. It's like, and then I determined I was like, I am not gonna buy Battlefront at all, because I'm not gonna stand with that practice. People bought it because obviously people wanted to know what's in the game. You know what's exactly in the game that it was not on the beta.
Hmm.
And you
And
see that
mostly fanboys of Star Wars.
I like Star Wars. I fucking love Battlefront. I fucking love Battlefront 2.
My fear with all this is right now. They've already announced a sequel for Battlefront. Hear me out.
Yeah.
How do you make a sequel for a game that has no campaign whatsoever?
Exactly. How the fuck do you do it? You know what? I am not even gonna bother with that because you know why? I sort of, I may be fucking wrong. I hope not. But I hope that Visceral Games actually do a better job on campaign, in the campaign, because they were making a Star Wars game with Amy Hennig, which is the writer for the Uncharted series.
And it's still
What could it be?
in
I
production.
am hoping that it's the revival of Star Wars 1313. I'm hoping for that.
It's not gonna be 1313, but it's gonna be
I'm hoping for that. It
something
may
that
not.
we
It
saw
may
at E3.
not. It may not. But I'm hoping for a revival of Star Wars 1313.
You know,
I'm
you know,
just
okay.
hoping for
You know what could bring Battlefront higher up, and I am saying this in a hypothetical situation that will probably never happen because it's EA. Remember how Battlefield Bad Company 2 came out? A lot of people were playing it, and suddenly, freaking, they added in the Vietnam expansion,
Yeah.
and it expanded the life of that game for a good year and a half afterwards.
Hmm.
The one thing, and I'm totally gonna sound crazy because this is the one thing I've always wished that they would have brought back. The one thing that could potentially expand the life for Battlefront, besides 16 more maps, 4 more heroes, 20 plus extra equipment cards, and weapons and
Those
vehicles.
fucking cards are so fucking stupid. I swear.
Yep.
The thing that could bring it back up the most would be Galactic Conquest.
Hmm.
You know what? You know what else? You know what else?
What else?
This is a wild thing. They're not gonna do it, but it's just saying. Give us a glimpse of something. Make a fucking 30-minute campaign, an actual campaign with a story. It doesn't matter. You know, Far Cry Blood Dragon.
Yeah, that was a.
You know
Good.
Far Cry.
That's
You know
beautiful.
Far Cry Blood Dragon.
Yep.
Yep.
The game was good. It was short. It was DLC.
And people still wish that they would get a sequel for it.
Exactly. You know, DICE should make a little campaign. Just try it out. Why not? To see how you get people's reaction. It doesn't have to be 10-hour long. It doesn't have to be 7 hours long. As long as you don't charge me $50 for it. How about you include in the season pass? Just thinking while, I'm just speaking my mind here. But you should make like a little campaign. Just a little campaign. A fucking 3-hour, 4-hour campaign. Charge me, I don't know what, $15, $10? Even which I'm pretty sure they're not gonna do it. They're probably gonna charge me $30 for it. But if they do, just make a little glimpse of a campaign. Let's see how you handle it. You didn't want to make a campaign, fine, but you didn't deliver on the content. The game may work at times. It's fun at times. But Battlefront isn't about that. Battlefront was multiplayer and all that icy campaign. And when we saw the footage for Battlefront 3, when they canceled Battlefront 3, I wanted that game so bad. Even more now. But just, an idea.
But
Just
literally,
make a little campaign. Just why not?
the final verdict we could put on Battlefront is visual-wise it's beautiful, sound-wise it's beautiful.
Visual and sound, it's amazing.
Like what they promised, they they fucking did it.
They promise half of it.
They said they were doing a Star Wars game. They did a Star Wars game.
But
It
it's
didn't feel like Battlefield with a new skin, but what it did feel like, however,
even though they
was
quote unquote, it's not a Battlefield with a
no,
Star
exactly.
Wars skin on it. Bullshit.
No, it really isn't. It really
It doesn't feel like a Battlefield game.
it doesn't feel like a Battlefield game.
You know
Exactly.
why it doesn't feel like Battlefield? It would have been even though it's a stupid thing, but it would have made. I think even though with that small thing they would have added, I'm pretty sure people would love it. I wanted that in
Borderlands
Battlefront. I wanted in Battlefront not a card that fucking spawns me on a freaking X-wing. No, I wanted to go run to the fucking X-wing. I want to get inside the X-wing, fucking fly, even though it's not in the galaxy. But start it there. Not get a fucking card and just activate and just you're already in the fucking X-wing flying. And
Which was still pretty good because it
Yeah.
like they didn't do the whole I activated this card, bam, X-wing. No, they did the whole thing where I activate the card, I call in air support, and it comes in. It's like you're a completely different person. That's cool.
No, I
It's-
fucking
okay.
dislike
And
that.
but it's
I consider it cheap because it's not it's air
But it
support.
makes
All right,
sense.
fine.
Okay, it makes sense
makes
because
sense.
the level design that they have for this isn't Battlefield sized maps. It's less. Take those Battlefield maps, cut them up into freaking 3 pieces each, and that's what you get.
And it's
So-
balanced too.
Yeah, because imagine
Think about
this.
it. Imagine if in Battlefield you hate it when the other team comes to your base and destroys your vehicles.
Or takes them either way.
Exactly.
Sure, it
That
adds to
can
the com-
happen
it
in
adds,
Battlefront.
it
because
adds to
you're-
the
You're
competition.
spawning into it, so it's a balanced.
And,
I don't know. I just find it stupid. For me, at
No,
least for me, I find it
I
stupid.
found it really weak at first, but I can also consider the fact that since the maps are so small compared to what they're.
I'll give
normally
you
used to,
that. I'll give you that. The map are really small, and I'll give you that it could yeah. I'll give you that. It made me realize that, sure, but then again, it would have been so much better if they did that.
Don't get me wrong. Yeah, I would, but maybe they had their
Hopefully,
choices for...
hopefully, I hope that fucking Battlefront 2 doesn't seem to be fucking going with this practice, even though it's gonna happen, because
It's the
that's a
same
sad
people.
reality. DICE has gone from Battlefield 2 from Battlefield Bad Company to awesome to fuck you, give me money practice.
Yep.
And it's all because of EA as well. But DICE, instead of fighting for it and actually giving a good
A shit.
reason why to give a shit, they don't. Sadly, that's how they drop down to their knees that, we're making a game, but, we have the stamp of the devil with EA in our back, so, get ready to pay a sum of money. That's the problem. Visceral games, I can see... Visceral games, they give me Dead Space, even though Dead Space 3 practice pissed me the fuck off.
It was a piece of shit.
Fucking basically, I'll have to pay for the ending. That is fucked up. But knowing that Amy Hennig is in the team making Battlefront, what the fuck? The next Star Wars game with Visceral Games, I'm actually into it. I want to see how it goes. Hopefully, again, saying it's a revival of Star Wars 1313. But yes, now.
So okay, before we do this, for this
yeah.
topic, should we just beat each other up first, or should we handle this orderly, give turns, and then beat each other
let's
up?
see how it goes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I say we take turns first, and then we punch each other to the shit. Deal?
Sounds good.
Okay, so Carlos, you start it up.
So yeah, backwards compatibility for the PlayStation 4. I'm not surprised. I was seeing this from I saw this back in 2014 when they were releasing more games for the PS4 and stuff, and the PlayStation Now bullshit. It was gonna be time for backwards compatibility and all that stuff, and now Xbox did it, and they needed to do it, so they did it. They have backwards compatibility for fucking PlayStation 2. I don't know how is that gonna work. What games are gonna be available for that? But yeah, Victor.
For me, PS2 backwards compatibility for the PS4. I think for the nostalgic people, it's completely fine. Even though there's people who are bitching about the.
Jose.
I,
Sure,
I haven't
okay.
said any names. I haven't said any names, but there are
This is where you get
people.
punched daily.
There are people bitching about. Oh, you may interrupt me at any time, Jose.
I won't.
There's
Go on.
people who are bitching about. Oh my God, why do we have backwards compatibility? Why don't we move to the future instead of thinking of the past? You have a point. Question is, where is the fucking future?
Remasters?
Exactly. Where is the fucking future? Because I'm a sucker for remasters, yes, when it's worth it, and I don't think it's worth it. But now that Beyond Two Souls is coming to PS4 remastered, the thing that pissed me off about that is like, when I saw the trailer, I was like, why the fuck Quantic Dream didn't hold their only balls to fucking release this on this console?
Yup.
I would have done that. Then again, I am one of those people that I am actually excited about the backwards compatibility. Why? Because I can play Resident Evil Outbreak. I wanted to play that, and you guys know about that. I wanted to fucking play that, but let's just say, oh, I don't have I have my PS3 died. Let's put it that way. There isn't a PS3 compatibility, a backwards compatibility. There's a PS2, which is now upscaled to 1024 by 900 something. I'm not sure. I don't know if that's the real number that has been upscaled, the graphics, at least the resolution of it. So let's just say my PS3 died, in which it did, and I have Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. I want to play that again, even though I don't have to buy it again on the HD remix, which has more content than the original PS2 game.
Mm-hmm.
But there's one excuse there. I want to go back. So until these games come back, because Destiny, I'm already tired of Destiny. Metal Gear Solid 5, I love Metal Gear. I just don't want to burn it. Final Fantasy Type 0, hey, it's an HD port. There you go. Last of Us Remastered, already finished it. Grounded mode. I have nothing else to do. Even though I'm finishing the Platinum, when I finish it, I have nothing else to do. Because all the games that are coming out, Fallout 4 came out now, and that should keep me busy for a while. But after that, when are the other games going to come out? Oh yeah, they're coming next year. And they're getting delayed. Over and over again.
Yup.
That's my problem. Like, we're seeing the future close, yet so far. Because, I don't know, the PS2 thing for me, it's actually a relief in a way. Even though if it's not PS3, I don't care. I honestly don't care if it's PS3. Because when when the PS3 came out, it had PS1 and PS2. When they did the slim version, they had to cut down some stuff. They cut down the PS2, left the PS1, which is fine for me, even though there wasn't many people who used the PS1. But then again, if you have PS1 games, there you go. Xbox did it with the 360. Completely fine with it. People enjoyed it. Pretty sure you weren't going to say that, Jose. I took that from you.
Don't worry, I'm still gonna mention it in further detail.
Oh,
So
yeah.
go on.
360 backwards compatibility. Some titles, even though we're going to get more titles for it. People loved it. PlayStation does it. People hates it. I somewhat get what they're trying to say. It's not PS3. If you were expecting that, I wasn't expecting it. Then again, it's a win-win for both consoles, I guess.
Yeah. It's PlayStation 2. Like, it's one of the best consoles of all time.
There's been 1,850 games, titles for the PS2.
Like, Shadow of the Colossus. I will kill somebody to play game again because I fucking lost it.
Jose, I'm pretty sure you have something in your mind. What you want to say?
I do. And before I say this, Carlos, shut the hell up, please and thank you. All right,
Fuck you, Xbox fanboy.
Victor, you have full permission to interrupt me if I go overboard at some given point.
Sure thing.
Carlos, you've talked way too much so far. Shut the hell up. So,
I'm gonna still interrupt you. Fuck you.
shut the hell up. So, in a time, in an era where literally all we've had is between remasters, broken hopes and dreams, and PC ports to our consoles, it is not in any way surprising that both Microsoft and Sony decided, hey, what if we go back and put the one thing that we swore we would never do again, since it failed so hard in the 360 and it failed so hard in the PS3, causing enough trouble as it was, and they decided to go and put in backwards compatibility. What can I say to this? Coming from the thing that Victor, took ahead from me, it is very surprising that people would be all in favor for having 360 compatibility, even though it's less titles, than going back to the PS2 and rumored PS1 compatibility. Reasons why the PS3 was not included in the plans. Oh, let's see. The simple fact that you still had the PlayStation Plus thing for, downloading PS3 games. So that would literally take away part of their deal for some stupid reason. And something that does bother me, however, from the PS2 compatibility is the amount of titles that somewhat are supposed to come out by the time. Apparently, it's a good number. If I remember correctly, 1,280 titles confirmed for this.
Right.
And I say it's too big of a number. Why? Because Xbox is releasing their compatibility. I think it's in a week or two so far, and it's less titles. It's a really small list, and I think that is okay considering the fact. In my case, I've had compatibility for a while now. I had Mass Effect 1 already installed, and for me, it runs like a dream. But people have been reporting that it's been causing trouble in the system. Both console breaking and simple compatibility issues, and that's about it. So
Right.
putting out such a big number from the start, sure, it can create all the hype that you want, but by the end of the day, it could potentially ruin the system. Without, it could ruin the system without too much effort. Emulators are a thing that we've already been aware of, and to be
course.
fair, both the 360 emulator and the PS2 emulators, everybody knows that they're like probably the biggest, most hardest thing to work with on the PC. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm really curious to see
Including
how
the
they're gonna make
BIOS. That shit is fucking annoying.
But when you
Especially
make it work,
BIOS.
it works perfectly.
Not really.
Like,
Now-
I gotta tell you that, Carlos. Not really, because I have the PS2 emulator for quite a while, and I try to play it on a disc. I try to play Onimusha 2 from a disc, not download it from a disc, and it has its buggy ass problems.
the thing with all this
any
is,
emulator has buggy problems though.
have you seen the Nintendo ones? There's at least ones that have the trouble. But for the most part, I can see where people are coming from with the whole, oh, we should be moving to the future. Because when you look at what's coming, there isn't really that many games. Like, we already had the trouble and the complaints that, oh, the new consoles are just full of indie games. Yeah, because they're probably the only ones who are making stuff, be it good or bad. And all these big companies are so damn focused on, hey, I made this really big game. Oh, let me cut 90% of it out for DLC. That immediately just dismotivates everybody from getting them. And the big titles that have been announced in the last 2 years, they still haven't come out, or they're still in development. There's some pretty good titles coming out. You got Cuphead, you got Band of Thieves, you got freaking Quantum Break. But in the meantime, what do we have? We have a shit ton of remasters, which simply leaves me with the thought that, hey, they were told early that they were going to have these consoles coming, and they decided, oh, we're just going to release the
Release.
Yeah, no. Because let me put it to you this way: you know what a remaster really seems like? It seems like this is the actual final product, but since we didn't know if these consoles were coming anytime soon, we just released them first. Like it really feels that way.
Yeah, I
Like
gotta give you that.
I can understand a game like, for example, Darksiders 2. THQ went bankrupt, so that series got simply dropped on the floor, and there were
Got
people who actually
canned.
enjoyed
They
it.
got canned completely.
Yeah. What did we have? Oh, well, they made the Definitive Edition, all puns intended.
Fucking hate that name for fucking
Yeah,
remasters, man.
Just put
which
remaster, goddammit. Fucking
which brings in all the DLC and all the things. That's beautiful. Why? Because that gives me hope that that series probably got picked up by someone, and they're probably gonna either continue it
They're still
or
working on a Darksiders 3. I'll tell you that. They're still working on it,
exactly.
even though they're gonna use the original THQ intro when they start the game. Even though no doesn't matter what other company they pick it up, you're still gonna use the THQ,
Which is
which
beautiful.
is nostalgic and great. For
yeah.
them.
But then you have games like Tomb Raider and Last of Us, which I'm not saying it's a bad move, but they were games that were pretty recent, and they got remastered. They got all their content pushed forward. Oh, but what about if I bought the last one? Well, tough shit. You're buying it again.
Exactly, you're tough shit. You gotta buy it again. Exactly.
And that's really the biggest deal with this. The deal with this is that even though we will have compatibility for both, they're still gonna probably remaster both of them. You know what other game freaking got an unnecessary remaster in my opinion? Halo 4. Oh, let's make the Master Chief Collection. Oh, let's put in Halo 4 with all the content, including the armor. I think it was the Photos armor, which was only included if you bought the special edition Xbox 360 to get the code to have that armor. That
And-
is,
And now I tell you, Jose, do you have something against with the backwards compatibility?
to be fair, I don't have something against it. Why? Because I understand that not everybody has the space in their houses or apartments or whatever to have more than one console plugged in at the time. Most of the old consoles right now are probably close to their to the death sentence, or have already died out and
Or sold?
or
Mhm.
sold. But I do find it problematic because these are things that people wanted from the start. People traded in, sold probably most of their games and most of their shit that they had for this, and
Here's
now they have.
here's the
and
thing. Here's the thing. Sorry for interruption. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. People wanted that since the beginning. I'll give you that. I wanted that at least for the moment when I was actually excited for the consoles.
Mhm.
Thing is that backwards compatibility, even though it takes, and that was, you know what, that was one of the problems that had the PS3 at the beginning. Backwards
Yeah.
compatibility, everything. And it fucked up the console, I'll give you that. It fucked up the console, because that generation of PlayStation 3, the first generation, the 40 gigabyte, 60 gigabyte, or 80 gigabyte PS3, fat PS3,
Did you ever find out why it had why
it was
why
overheating.
no, but why it was so fat per se when it first came out?
It had many stuff. It had fucking
Mhm.
what?
It had 3 disc drivers in it. The one for the Blu-ray,
One
one
for
for the
PS2,
games.
DVD, and fucking PS1. It was
Like-
way too fat. That console was way too fat. It would get fucking. It would melt. If you fucking put steak
on the top of
on the top of the
You call it
PS3, on the PS3,
steak.
you would
Yeah.
get fucking well cooked steak. Because it would fucking overheat way too much. And I'll give you that. But backwards compatibility, it's something for the moment. Which is now that we're getting the backwards compatibility now, which is fine because now the consoles are more, they know how the console works and they're experimenting on it. Because they would release it from the beginning, we will had many fucking problems. We would be returning our PS4s, our Xbox One. Oh, the fucking disk drive fucked up, or either this shit melted, or we have to have the red ring of death.
Mhm.
Now that we're getting it, it's an experimental phase. I like that. Why? Because it doesn't fuck up the system much. Now that we're getting, now that you're saying that we're seeing problems on the Xbox One, I'll give you that. That seems to be a problem now. But do I still want the backwards compatibility? Hell yeah. Why? Because this is why people think that, this is what I think. Oh, people might say, oh, I want to see the future, not the past. But you're missing somewhat the point. And you may disagree or you may agree. It doesn't matter. If you have an opinion, there you go. But
Yeah.
the one thing is that why the backwards compatibility is good? Because instead of focusing on definitives, remasters, we can go back to those games. You don't have to do a thing.
Mhm.
Yep.
You can continue moving forward with your other game while we still play your old shit. And you don't have to remaster this shit so we can play it again and pay you $40, $30, $60 for the game to play it again that I already own.
However, do keep this in mind for those of you who may or may not hear us that actually have, some sort of vote on this. Bringing in the backwards compatibility for both consoles doesn't mean that you're gonna have extra time to do whatever you want.
Exactly.
Keep this in mind. This is good. Congratulations, you made good decisions. But this doesn't mean you get to cheap out on us from here on out. From here on out, you have time. You have time to make new ideas. Normal. You're gonna make sequels? Fine, make sequels. I want to see some new shit out there. I want to see some new shit
And that is
that's gonna get me to stop playing the old games that I have,
There
and it's
you
gonna
go.
make me go and buy something new.
You see the point. You see the point. That's exactly what I wanted to say.
Mhm.
I like the backwards compatibility. Why? Because we don't have to fucking continue with this remastered definitive edition shit. We can play those old games if they are listed in the backwards compatibility list. If they are listed, because that's one other thing. Just because it says backwards compatibility doesn't mean you're gonna play all those fucking games. Because the thing is, they are licensed for each of those games.
Correct.
If PlayStation does it, and the thing is that PlayStation, when they did it, it doesn't matter what game you put on, it would still read it. Xbox, in the other hand, even though the 360, when it did the backwards compatibility, they had some titles they had to put. Some titles from the Xbox original to the 360.
Yep. And not all the content was included because
Not all the content was included. Now the
multiplayers
Xbox
were
One.
cut
Now
off
you
for
see
the
the
most part.
Xbox. Now you see the Xbox One. You see some list in the. You see a list, 100 games plus, and most of them are basically indie. Most of them, because the license for the indies are, I think, are more easier to work on.
Yeah.
Mass Effect, we got Mass Effect. There you go. Now let's see how it goes for PlayStation 2. PlayStation 2 has 1,850 titles, if I'm not mistaken. Are we going to see those 1,850 titles?
No.
Doubt it.
Oh.
Because in those 1,850 titles, 1,000 of them have to be complete shit.
Mhm.
Yep. There's a really big possibility.
Worst case scenario, I see like 40
No, I can
titles.
see for this for the backwards compatibility, I can see 150, 200 at least, maybe, because you have to count the Grand Theft Auto 3, San Andreas, Vice City, Liberty City Stories, Vice City Stories, Star Wars Battlefront 2, even though they are there. You got your Bounty Hunter, you got Jedi Starfighter, you got
There's something you're not taking into consideration,
you
and it's the fact the amount of games that you would also have to make for the Japanese exclusive side of PlayStation.
there you go.
Yup.
Because there's a lot of games that never touch ground here, and there's a lot of games that we can't play here. So,
In which it's gonna be that's gonna be one problem there. But as for titles, I'm pretty sure you're just gonna handpick them. Even unlike Xbox, they did a voting,
Yep.
in which somewhat the vote didn't help as much. In which they're still gonna do maybe, but the voting didn't help because people wanted Red Dead. I didn't see Red Dead in the list. Is it on the list?
I don't think
Exactly.
so.
And people wanted Red Dead. There you go. People wanted Black Ops 2. Like, what the fuck? Of all 360 games, you wanted
shit.
Black Ops 2. What's wrong with you people? I don't fucking hate me if you want, but come on. Of all the damn titles that 360 has, you have to pick Black Ops 2. Come on, guys. You have your Mass Effect trilogy. You got Red Dead. You have to pick Black Ops 2 of all. In which I'm pretty sure Activision's gonna fuck you up in the ass later on,
Yeah.
giving you a remastered edition for all the fucking Call of Duty. Maybe Call of Duty. Oh, here you go, the Infinity War trilogy: Call of Duty
Nope,
4,
not on
Modern
the
Warfare
list.
2, Modern Warfare 3. Oh, here you go, the fucking Black Ops trilogy: Black Ops 1, 2, and 3 for the fucking next generation consoles. Just saying, just saying. Come on, people, of all the titles. Now, I'm just gonna pick one title before we end the show. One title, each of us. One title, which is the one title you want to see for PS2? One title.
Shadow of the Colossus. Tough.
All right.
That's
Even though it's already on PS3, but okay. Jose.
I'm thinking you. Oh, War of the Monsters.
There you go. For me, as I've been saying, Capcom, again, if you're listening, if you're doing this remastered practice, which is fine for all those old games, please don't give me fucking Resident Evil 4. I will fucking hate you if you do it for the 5th fucking time. Because it was fine for 360, but when you started doing it, for the PC, we're going to do this for PS3, and we're going to keep doing it, and doing it, and doing it. It's like, stop. I want to see Resident Evil Outbreak, but if you don't give me that, that is the one title I want to see on the fucking PS2. Of all the titles, that is the one that I want to see. Because I'm not saying Grand Theft Auto 3, I'm not saying San Andreas, I'm not saying Vice City, because it's going to be there. It's one of those famous titles that are going to be there. But
Max
Outbreak,
Payne.
Max Payne 1 and 2, they're going to be there.
Yep.
But I say Resident Evil Outbreak because I think it's one of the least popular Resident Evil games to be known to be on the list. I want that game there, even though I don't have to play the online because the online portion is going to be taken out, of course, and the servers are down. But again, Capcom, if you're doing a remaster, I hope you do Resident Evil Outbreak with the online capabilities from now on, like I said in the previous 2 episodes, I think I did, because we were on a hiatus, basically. But that's the one title I want to see. The one title. Because Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, already going to see it there. Again, famous titles, most likely going to be on the list. So,
Yeah.
like Manhunt, Red Dead Revolver, Tekken 4, Tekken 5,
Half-Life?
Half-Life, I don't think so. But even though it might work, it might
It was
work.
in PlayStation 2. I remember that.
It might work, maybe. I sort of remember Half-Life 2 being on Xbox original. But then again, that's one of the titles. That's one title I want to see. So
Need for Speed?
Need for Speed. That's what I'm saying. Need for Speed is going to be a title that's going to be there.
Yeah.
Need for Speed Underground 1 and 2. They're going to be there. Shadow of the Colossus, I'm pretty sure it's going to be there. Ico, it's going to be there. What else? We're gonna
Silent Hill?
Silent Hill
2.
Silent Hill 2, 3. 4, doubt it, because that's the least favorite one.
Yep.
And that's a shitty-ass one. GoldenEye Rogue Agent, maybe. Even though that game was... Agent Under Fire. That's one of the... Basically, I pretty much think that was one of the launch titles for GameCube and PS2. I'm not sure. What else? Resident Evil 4, they're going to put it there. It's one of the famous PS2 games.
God of War.
God of War 1, 2.
Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts 1, 2. I already said that. Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. Sadly, there's no fucking Star Wars Jedi Knight series on the fucking PS2, in which I would have loved if it was there, because I would have told you guys, hey guys, get that game. On Neo Japan here in Bayamo. Okami, there you go. Don't tell that to Jamie, because she'll fucking freak. And Jose, you already know.
Yep.
So, that's the title I want to see. If you have any other title, people, if you have one title in your mind, please leave it in the comments below. Give us a like. Find us on Facebook.com/The Rating Pending Show. I was your host, Victor the Red, signing off.
Fuck you, Bethesda.
Kill your son or nuke Boston.